After transmigrating into a novel, the first thing Lu Jiazhao did was to spend a tael of silver to marry herself to a seriously ill rural man named Zhang Yanqing. Zhang Yanqing's mother was domineering and hot-tempered. His brother was lazy and unwilling to work. His sister loved to gossip. He himself was completely a mama's boy. Zhang Yanqing couldn't understand why Lu Jiazhao chose him. Little did he know that Lu Jiazhao was familiar with the novel's plot. She knew the second brother Zhang Yangxuan was a scoundrel who climbed up using women. The eldest son Zhang Yanqing, though a scholar and filial, would turn dark and become prime minister to take revenge on his family. But Lu Jiazhao thought that by starting now with love, he definitely wouldn't turn dark in the future. However, Lu Jiazhao didn't expect that Zhang Yanqing was actually a reborn person, who vowed in this life not to be foolishly filial, or let his family mistreat him. Looking at Lu Jiazhao, who had married his brother in the previous life, now becoming his own wife. Thinking about how Lu Jiazhao died suddenly on her wedding night in the previous life, he worried that the current Lu Jiazhao might also suddenly die. However, the worrisome event did not happen. Lu Jiazhao even took the initiative to kiss him. This made Zhang Yanqing, who had suffered greatly and been reborn, instantly feel warmth. He thought living happily with Lu Jiazhao like this would be quite nice. However, early the next morning his mother disregarded their newlywed status, barging into their room early and scolding them for not getting up to make money. Little did she know that Lu Jiazhao was not someone to be pushed around. She got up and walked to her mother-in-law's side and pushed her. The mother-in-law cursed at her for daring to be disrespectful. Lu Jiazhao played dumb, saying she thought it was a dog barking. The mother-in-law was furious, but still remembered her purpose for finding Lu Jiazhao, which was to make her hand over her dowry. Unexpectedly, before Lu Jiazhao could speak, the usually obedient and compliant eldest son Zhang Yanqing spoke up, stating that the law stipulated that the husband's family could not seize the wife's dowry. The mother-in-law continued to act unreasonably, claiming she would go to the government office to report them for being unfilial so her son couldn't take the imperial examinations. Zhang Yanqing, living his second life, had already seen through his mother's hypocrisy and ignored her. Lu Jiazhao was still angry and took out a hairpin to frighten her mother-in-law, declaring that to protect her dowry, she would do anything. The mother-in-law was frightened and hurriedly fled. Lu Jiazhao hadn't expected that Zhang Yanqing, who always listened to his mother, would help her. Zhang Yanqing also hadn't expected Lu Jiazhao to be so fiery in personality. But no matter how fiery she was toward his mother, she still took out silver to be good to him, giving him money to buy medicine for his illness. That day when she returned home from work, she discovered her mother-in-law had taken advantage of her absence to rummage through her room. So she planned to teach her mother-in-law a lesson. She threw the bedding onto the floor, making the room look like a robbery scene, then deliberately shouted loudly, attracting nearby neighbors, crying and asking if it was her mother-in-law, who had entered her room to search through things. Seeing her mother-in-law deny it, she took out the pillow and compared handprints with her mother-in-law. The mother-in-law, seeing that she was exposed, claimed she had gone in to tidy up the room. At this point, the robbery scene created by Lu Jiazhao came in handy. Then Lu Jiazhao began to trick her mother-in-law, saying the bag originally contained 100 taels of silver dowry, and telling her mother-in-law to return it. When the mother-in-law heard she would have to compensate so much money, she quickly said that, when she opened it, there was nothing inside. The mother-in-law finally slipped up and admitted it.